what we have in common is a chance. A chance. A chance might not be what you prayed for. It may not be what you asked for. You may have prayed for a thing, or for a person, or for a place, or for a time. But often when you ask God for objects, He answers with chance. And then as God answers with the chance, you at your own discretion have the opportunity how you respond to that chance. The kingdom, Jesus is teaching us here, is about the transference of chance. Yeah. The transference of chance. For God to allow me to have a chance is absolutely amazing. It is amazing because most people only give chances to certain people. But in our text, God has so switched things around that the least likely have an opportunity to do the Almighty. The good news is that God says the kingdom is likened unto a man who called his servants, his slaves together and gave them bags of gold. Wait a minute. That's kind of weird, because you don't entrust wealth into slaves. If God doesn't give you things that you are scared of, then faith has lost its job. Faith is in the unemployment line, because I don't need faith to do what I already know how to do. I don't need faith to be a slave. I've been a slave when the story started. I don't need faith to be a slave. I need faith when you take me out of my comfort zone and away from that which is familiar to me and put me in a position for which there is nothing on my resume that brings me into alignment with what you're about to do in my life. I don't know whether you know it yet, but I'm prophesying to somebody already. I know I didn't say, yea, I say unto thee, but I'm already speaking a word unto you about what God has been setting you up for. Hallelujah to God. He's been getting you ready to shift you into a realm that you won't feel prepared for. Anytime people lose that feeling that they have a chance, they become unmanageable. They become difficult, they become erratic, they become critical. Dr. King said that riot is the language of the unheard. Anytime people feel like they have no chance, they get radical, they go over the edge, they get insane. That's why the enemy is after your feeling of hope. Because if you have no hope, faith has nothing to do. For faith is a substance of the thing that you hope for and the evidence of the thing you don't see. But if you're not hoping for anything, if he can kill your hope, if he can convince you to stay in your place, if he can get you to shut your mouth, if he can get you to give up on your dream, if he can get you to get so discouraged that you terminate everything that God has in front of you, then faith doesn't have a job, because you have no hope. That's why all the voices are talking in your head. That's why every time you get in the parking lot, there's a voice that's telling you you're an imposter and you're a fake and you're a fraud and you don't have no business in this role and you'll never be a good mother and you'll never be a good wife and you'll never be a good husband. The devil is only lying to you. So whatever it is he's been telling you, you're the opposite of that. If he's been telling you you're stupid, you're smart. If he's been telling you you're broke, you're rich. If he's been telling you you're ugly, you're fine. If he's been telling you you can't make it, you're stronger than an ox. He's a liar. So whatever he says, I want you to believe the opposite so your faith can get its job back. The kingdom is likened unto this because God will raise up the unlikely to do the almighty. And he wants you to start talking on the level you are not seeing. Let the poor say that I'm rich. Let the weak say that I'm strong. Whatever you're feeling, he wants you to start talking those things that are not as though they were, because they will become whatever you say. For as a man thinketh, oh God, to you, as a man thinketh, not as a man danceth, not as a man shouteth, not as a man runs out, as a man thinketh. I got a chance. I'm 60, but I got a chance. I'm 40, but I got a chance. I got a chance at going back to school. I got a chance about going back into business. I got a chance about getting my house. I got a chance about getting out of debt. I got a chance out of building my family. I got a chance for my children to grow. I got a chance to be a good wife. I got a chance to be a good husband. I got a chance to save my marriage. I got a chance to overcome this cancer. I got a chance to defeat this lump in my breast. I got a chance. I got a chance. I got a chance. I got a chance. Hell hates when you start talking like that. Demons hate when you start talking like that. Satan gets nervous when you start talking like that. I got a chance. I got a chance. If you don't start saying that to yourself and begin to steward your chance, then 2023 is going to look like 2022, and 2022 is going to look like 2021, and 2021 is going to look like 2020, because it's not the date that changes your world, it's your attitude that changes the world. I'm not worried about you having a new year. I'm worried about you having a new attitude, a new disposition. Come on, somebody, talk to me. If the only thing that changes is the date on the calendar, your old life is going to continue. But if I can speak a word that causes you to think differently, as a man thinketh, as a man thinketh, as a man thinketh, my God, if you can get it in your head. You could have been bowled over for 18 years, but if you can get in your head that you are loose immediately, I can feel it building in here. I can feel hope building. I can feel encouragement building. You're stewarding a chance. God is going to make you a steward over a chance, and it's my job to make you recognize it when it comes, because you got to be able to manage it. It's just going to be a chance. It's not a check. It's a chance. And when God gives you a chance, the chance is going to give you the check. So stop hanging around the mailbox waiting on the check, because the power's not in the check. I feel like Elijah stopping by the widow's house, telling her not to bake a cake and die. God's giving you a chance. I don't care what's going on across the street and in the neighborhood. God is going to make you an exception to the rule. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm talking to somebody. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear in that we are powerful beyond measure. That's what we're scared of. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant? Who am I to be gorgeous? Who am I to be talented? Who am I to be fabulous? We talk ourselves down. Your playing small does not serve the world. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel unsure around you. Stop being a martyr for other people's comfort. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in every one of us. As we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated, watch this, as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Now, it takes a lot of faith for a slave to receive the master's wealth, because he has not seen himself in that light. So the image you have of yourself, I've been reading these books about how eyesight and image affects memory. And if you don't have a good image of yourself, it's going to affect how you remember yourself. So if there's nobody outside telling you stay in your place, then there's a voice on the inside telling you to stay in your place, because there is an association between eyesight and memory. We learn better when we can see it. So can you see yourself with what God is trying to give you? If you are afraid of winning, you will self-sabotage. If you're afraid of winning, you will talk people out of loving you. If you're afraid of winning, you will do things to irritate them, to drive them away, and then cry because they left. If you are afraid of winning, you will mess up the job that God gave you and then say they fired you. If you're afraid of winning, you will lose the house even though you could have paid for it, but you don't feel like you deserve it, and you will fall back down to the level of your comfort because you can't see yourself climbing to the next dimension. So in the kingdom, everything starts with service. So all of you who start as spectators are missing the transfer, because you got to go from being a spectator to serving, because when you start serving, you get on God's radar. The problem today with technology is that we have modeled stage, not service. We don't require our children to serve. So now if you ask them to do something, their lips are stuck out, they're mad, and they feel it's abusive to wash dishes. God will give you something and not tell you what to do with it. God will give you a baby and not tell you how to take care of it. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. God will give you a marriage and not tell you how it works. God will give you a church and not tell you how to run it. God is famous for putting you in situations and then not giving you information. And God said for where he's getting ready to take you, you can't just follow commands and wait on doors to open. You're going to have to think and find creative ways to make the next move happen. Your next move is in between your ears. When your head shifts, your life is going to shift. Oh God, do you hear what I'm saying? Can I go deeper? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to somebody. The battle is after your mind, and that's why all hell is breaking loose against your mind and your emotion, because the enemy wants you so upset, so confused, so disturbed, so upset that you can't think, because the breakthrough has to happen in your head before it happens anywhere else. Nobody told the little boy to give his lunch. Nobody told the one leper to turn around and go back. And yet Jesus asked him, where are the 9? If you're going to ask where are the 9, it seems like you should have told them, I expect you to come back. So the kingdom operates like this. It requires discernment, not commandment. As soon as the Lord speaks, I'm gonna do it. As soon as the Lord, if it be the Lord's will, and whatever you say, Lord, that's what I'm gonna do. But what do you do when God doesn't say anything? And yet he has an expectation. That means he expects you to think. Because you are stewards of a chance. So you can no longer think like a slave. You were rewarded for being obedient, but now you've got to be creative. Oh, come on, somebody get this, because this is gold. You were rewarded for being obedient. Slaves are rewarded for being obedient, but now you've got to be creative. And that's scary, because I'm creative without instruction.